Hello, welcome back to On the Road Adventure, and today we are getting the last bits ready for our next tour. And one of the last bits that we really wanted to add on this one is a motorcycle tracker.
So we have seen so many examples of other people on YouTube when they go travelling in Europe and of course in the UK as well, and bike theft is absolutely rife. Now, of course, you know, we've all got our chains and locks and things that we take with us, or at least we should be, using the steering lock as well. But there's been a lot of examples when, you know, bikes have been gone in moments, and it's entirely possible that your bike is still very close indeed, but you don't know where. And that's where the MoniMoto tracker comes in. So we have looked at other trackers before, and this name, MoniMoto, came up over and over again. And we started looking into it, and MoniMoto have been kind enough to send us 2 of these so we can actually use them in the real world, and we can review them and tell you guys a bit about them. We've seen a brilliant example recently where a poor guy came to the UK again,
From Germany.
Yeah, with his Tenere. He parked his Tenere outside a hotel and he went in to see if there was a room available for him. They reckon he was inside for about 3 minutes. When he come outside, his bike was gone, along with all of his kit. If he had something like this, there's a good chance he would have gone on his phone and seen that the bike is very nearby. We know that motorcycle thieves are very aware of motorcycle trackers now, and they're not taking these bikes home with them. They don't want to give up where they are. They're simply taking the bike and removing it somewhere nearby. And if you're quick enough, because you can find out where it is, you may well get your bike back.
Well, we have considered another option, which was an AirTag, but AirTag lets you know whoever is riding your bike at the time, and it has an iPhone. I don't know about other smartphones. It lets you know that that AirTag has been following you.
Very recently, we were travelling on our last tour, and my phone kept notifying me that Eva's Apple AirPods were nearby. So yeah, forget the AirTag, that's not going to work. If anybody's got an iPhone and you've got an AirTag on your bike, they're going to be notified that there's an AirTag there.
And a massive advantage of this one is it does not connect to your battery.
It doesn't, it runs off its own power. But let's open up the box, let's see what's inside this tiny little package and see what it's all about. So we are going to open this box together. I haven't set it up or anything like that, so we're going to do it together and see how easy this thing is to use, or not, we'll find out. So inside, what have we got? A little leaflet telling you what it's all about. Oh, interestingly, this thing isn't just specifically for motorcycles, despite its name. They reckon that you can use it in, you know, cars, boats, caravans, anything you want to track, really. Fair enough. We've got some instructions. Okay, we've got a little packet of cable ties so that we can attach this thing to the bike. As Eva quite rightly says, this unit is tiny. Look at the size of that in my hand. And it does not run off the motorcycle's power, which means that there aren't any leads going directly to the battery. Motorcycle thieves know that, you know, the trackers are there, and the first place they're going to look is under your seat, and they're going to look to see what devices are connected to your battery. So whatever you do, don't hide this thing under your seat or by your battery. And lastly in the box, we have this fob. We'll see how that works in a minute. But I understand with this fob, we need to pop it open and pull a little tab to activate it. So let's do that now. We just need to pop this little case open. There we are. Okay, it's just a little tab there. Let's pull that out just so the battery makes contact, I guess. There you go, job done. Put that back together. So this is the device itself, so it's very unassuming there. It does have a label on the back saying it's a MoniMoto, so that's not very helpful, but again, you want to hide this thing out of sight really. And there's nothing on there other than a Type-C charger, and there is a little light there. We have already pre-charged this one, so we're not waiting around 2 hours watching that, but that will flash when it's charging and a solid red light when it's done. Now, MoniMoto say that this thing will stay charged on your bike for about 12 months. If that's the case, I will be impressed. Well, that's as much as I know, so we're down to the instructions now, so let's have a quick look. So pull out the tab for the battery, charge your MoniMoto, Download the MoniMoto app. So let's do that now with my phone. So MoniMoto will ask if it can send you notifications. You want those, otherwise you won't know if your bike's being interfered with. It also sends you notifications if your battery is running low in good time as well, and I believe daily updates and things. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So we can sign in with Apple, nice, quick and easy. So next step is asking for your phone number to send the alerts should your bike be messed with. So I'll just pop that in now. Allow MoniMoto to find Bluetooth devices, allow. Select your device, so MoniMoto 9. Make sure it's charged up, done that. Select the key fob you have. There's a square or a round one, we got the square one. Take the battery plastic thing out, we've done that. Place MoniMoto and key fob very close to your phone. We will call that one Rich T7. It's a motorcycle, done. MoniMoto will use your phone number to send an SMS in the following cases. When you register a new MoniMoto device, when your MoniMoto SIM card is deactivated, when support team needs to contact you to help you solve MoniMoto issues. Agree. Do the updates. It's interesting, we've had conversations before about trackers, and I have to say, before I really sort of looked into it and how they're being used, I can't say I was sold on the idea, but now I do feel a lot of peace of mind having it, because any kind of security that you can add to your bike, well, it seems like an obvious thing to do, really. So it says it's checking SIM card now, and that's because there is a SIM inside the fob, and that means that this will work not only in the UK, but anywhere in Europe as well. It feels like adding something like this to the bike is something that you have, but you hope that you never need. Much like when you carry your spare tubes and, you know, all the rest of the tools it takes to change it. You really hope you don't get a puncture, but if it does happen, you've given yourself the best chance of rectifying the problem. Oh. So I've just got a text message from MoniMoto, and it's asking me to save the number to my phone book so I know that it's my bike calling or MoniMoto calling should there be a problem or a notification. That's that set up. That really was a 5-minute job. These things rarely are, as we all know. So the next thing to do is to go about stashing this somewhere as cleverly as you can. Bury it deep in your bike where it's going to be tricky to find. And for me, there's a label on the back there. I might take a photograph of that label with the serial number and things, and then I'm going to peel that off to make it even harder to identify what that is. Right, so the important thing here now is that you don't keep your key fob, as tempting as it will be, on your keys, because if the bike gets away with your bike and the keys, the MoniMoto isn't going to activate because it thinks all is well. So, you know, probably put that in your coat pocket or somewhere else that you're always going to carry it with you. So it works like this. If this thing is present with this one on your bike, it's happy. It knows that, you know, it is where it should be. But if this is elsewhere and your bike starts being moved around, then it knows it's a problem and it's going to call you and tell you about it. But should your bike get stolen with both of these, if they've had your jacket away or something in your luggage, I don't know, but the scenario is they've taken both of it, you can go to the app on your phone and there's a button there in the settings, start active tracking, and then it's going to help find your location of both the fob and the tracker. In the settings, there's a couple of things that are worth looking at depending on your lifestyle and how often you use the bike. But there is a device regular status update interval, and you can have this update the bike's location to your phone from every day to once every 40 days. Now, of course, the less notifications, the longer your battery is going to last, I'm guessing. There is also a motion sensitivity as well. So there's high, low and normal. So I would probably suggest leaving it in normal, you know, but if you find that the cat is jumping on your bike in your garage or something and setting off every 2 minutes, you could always change it to low. Well, that's that done. Set up, over and done with. Took me about 5 minutes, something like that. I'm pretty impressed with that, and I do think it will give some peace of mind. And if nothing else, it's a cool gadget to play with when it's raining and you can't go out on your bike.
Well, for obvious reason, we're not going to show you where we hit the device. And now I just have to do exactly what Rich did on my motorcycle, activate it and hide it somewhere. Ideally, since we have the same motorcycles, we want to probably hide it in 2 different places, because should they locate the device on one of the bikes, they will be still looking for the second one on the other one if it's hidden elsewhere.
There have been instances, or I've read, where entire containers of motorcycles have been found because one of the bike has a tracker on it.
That's pretty good. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to put a link in the description for MoniMoto if you wish to purchase one. There also will be a 10% discount with our code.
So the code is on the road. That will get you 10% off one of these. So these cost £149. You'll get 10% off that. You get 2 months subscription free. And then after that, it's £36 a month. Now, you know, that is an ongoing fee. But that works out at what, £3 a month? That's less than a coffee a month to know that your bike is safe and where you left it. I think that's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good, not only when touring, but when you're at work and sometimes you worry whether you lock the garage or not, or whether it's still parked in town when you're having dinner.
We do motorcycle camping a lot, and our bikes are right next to the tent. And you know, that's one thing that we really like about it. But sometimes you have to stay in a hotel, and there's nothing worse, especially if you can't see it from the hotel window. I'm up all night if my bike's in the car park, twitching, what was that noise, checking on my bike. But you would know, even if you can't see your bike, as soon as somebody touches it or attempts to move it, your phone's going to go off. You'll be down to it really quick.
Exactly. Well, let us know in the comments if you have any stories how the motorcycle tracker, any of them, have saved your bike. And any stories you really would like to share with us, we'd love to read your comments and we always reply.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again in the next one.
Love you, bye.